What's going on YouTube? BossJacoby here, and this video is really tailored to those of you who have an HD PVR or really any capture card, but one of the tips in this video will be solely for the PVR, and then the remainder of this video will help anybody out that's recording with any sort of capture card. So first and foremost, this is the program that you get stock when you buy an HD PVR, at least if you're using it on Windows. And the settings that you're going to want to use are as follows, and this makes a huge difference. It does take up more room on your computer, but it's worth it in the end because the quality looks just that much better. So regardless of what console you're on, you're going to want to hit PlayStation 3. It's just because it saves it as the M2 TS, and I believe that's what you want. That's what I've always done. The quality seems to be the best, and that's what I was told to do before I even ever used a PVR. So PS3 for out of these three options for sure, and then you can mess around with the brightness and contrast, but I really don't like doing that too much. What I do is I go into format settings here, and I make sure that the bit rate's all the way at 13.5. Now when you first get the PVR, it's going to be on I think 8. So you're going to definitely want to pump that up to 13.5 or at least more, because the quality will be very improved, much improved. And that's just one small tip. It's not a big deal. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about it, but it's certainly worth the extra file size. Yeah, so that's the first tip. We're going to switch on over to Premiere, and then we'll get into Vegas with the render settings. Alright guys, so here we are inside Adobe Premiere Pro. Now I'm kind of stuck on using this because when I had a Mac, this was the best editing program that I could find because Vegas wasn't available. When I get Vegas, I might switch over, but I figured some of you guys will be using this program, so I thought I should go over some render settings for you guys here. So first of all, when you start a new sequence, what I use is the DVC Pro HD 720p and then 60, and that just means frames per second. I guess you could go up here, but then the frames per second goes a little bit down, so I tend to stick to 720p. That's about what you're gonna be able to tell. That's about what YouTube can handle anyhow. So once you hit OK, you can name the sequence if you want. It should pop up here in Adobe Premiere. Just a second, and we're gonna get into the render settings right now. So I just have some random clip here. I think it's like Afghan. I think I actually uploaded this the other day. But once you get this clip in and you get it edited to whatever you want, let's just say I want that part. The audio's down here, video's up here. Once you go ahead and render it, you're gonna want to hit Control M, and after a second, that should bring up a box right here. I think it takes a little bit. I mean, if that doesn't work, you can just go to Media, Export, and then Media, and here we go. So these are your export settings. You're going to definitely want to pick H.264, and then for custom, I select the HD. That's my preset, of course. Output name, whatever, export video, export audio, and then here are the settings that you're going to want to use. So I use NTSC, of course. If you're in US, that's what you're going to want to use. If you're in Europe, you might switch to PAL or PAL. I'm not quite sure. Frame width and height is 1280 by 720. Frame rate 59.94, because that's what the HD PVR records in, and you don't want to tamper with that and mess it up. Field order none. Pixel aspect ratio 16:9. Profile main level 3.2. And then this is really important. This is something that you guys should toy with depending on what kind of video you're uploading. So for CBR, basically what I do is if I'm uploading a video with no gameplay, just maybe titles or something like that, I'll bring this down to about 4. You'll notice right here the file size changes. So if you bring it all the way up, it'll go to 123. Down, it'll go to like 17. So essentially this is determining how big the file size is in relation to the quality. For me, when I upload a regular gameplay, I like to have the file size under around 300 megabytes, but I don't really go above 8 megabytes per second. And of course, since this is a short video, it won't even reach close to 300. But 8 is very good. You can pump it up more if you want. 13.5 is what you're recording in, so if you want to use that, that's totally fine. And then you just hit export, and that's it for Premiere. Let's switch on over to Sony Vegas. Alright guys, now that we're in Sony Vegas here, I already have the clip right here in the timeline, and let's just jump right into the render settings. So you're going to want to hit this blue button right here, which is Render As, and then you go ahead and save it. Now, when I do this, some people prefer WMV. I always do main concept AVC AAC. For me, that's the best quality for the best file size. So I select that, and then here are the custom settings. So for me, it's going to be the same width and height, 1280 by 720. Main 59.94, and then 4 zeros after that if you want. Pixel aspect ratio is 1, number of reference frames is 2, use deblocking filter is on. And then again, this is the same thing as Premiere, guys. If you want, exceptional quality, you can pump it up to 240. That's just a big number, 240 million, but I think that's like 240 megabytes per second or something like that. So, anyhow, what I would recommend is probably around 10. 10's a good number. 4 is a little bit low. Audio, you don't want to change. If it's for some reason not what you see here, this is what you want. Project, and then for this, you just want to change it to best. You go ahead and save your template, hit OK, and then render it out, whatever you want to name it. And that's it. So that's it for this render settings. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit. If you're a YouTuber out there, hopefully this helped you out. But anyways, that's it for this video. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'm out of here. See ya.